The world ended in sound. Voices. Too many voices. They crashed over me like waves, each one sharper than the last. Laughter that felt like glass breaking. Footsteps that pounded through my skull. The bass from speakers somewhere, everywhere, vibrating through the floor and into my bones. I couldn't breathe. My cane tapped frantically against polished concrete. Left. Right. Searching for an exit I couldn't see. The underground parking garage of the Langston Hotel in downtown Chicago was supposed to be quiet, empty, a place to catch my breath after the chaos upstairs. Instead, I'd stumbled into some kind of after-party. Drunk alphas, perfume so thick it coated my throat, omega pheromones spiking with fear and arousal. The air was a toxic cocktail of emotions I couldn't filter out. My name is Hanuel. I'm 23, blind since birth, and my omega senses are so hypersensitive that crowded spaces feel like drowning. Tonight, I was drowning. Hey, watch it. Someone shoved past me. My cane clattered to the ground. I dropped to my knees, hands sweeping the cold concrete. Panic clawed up my throat. Without my cane, I was utterly lost. Fingers brushed my arm. Need help, sweetheart? The voice was slick. The scent was worse cheap cologne, and alpha aggression barely contained. I'm fine. My voice shook. I hated how small I sounded. Doesn't look fine to me. His hand closed around my wrist. Too tight. I yanked back, my heart hammering. The emotions rolling off him were predatory, hungry. My cane. Where was my cane? I scrambled backward, my palms scraping concrete. The alpha laughed. Others joined in. I could feel them circling, their amusement a razor against my skin. Then a car door. The soft click of it unlatching. I didn't think, I just moved. My hands found smooth metal, a handle. I pulled, and the door gave way. I threw myself inside, crawling across leather seats that smelled like rain and cedar and something darker. Expensive. Safe. I pulled the door shut. Silence. Blessed. Beautiful silence. I pressed my back against the opposite door, chest heaving. My hands were shaking so badly I had to clench them into fists. Outside, the muffled voices faded. Footsteps retreated. I was alone. The car's interior wrapped around me like a cocoon. The leather was butter-soft under my trembling fingers. The air was cool, filtered, carrying that scent, rain, cedar, and something I couldn't name. Something that made my omega instincts quiet for the first time in hours. I let my head fall back against the seat. Tears burned behind my useless eyes. This wasn't supposed to happen. I wasn't supposed to be here. My cousin Mion's engagement party. That's all it was supposed to be. A quiet dinner at the hotel restaurant. But quiet didn't exist in my family. The dinner had turned into a full ballroom event. 200 guests. A live band. Chaos. My parents had insisted I attend. You need to be seen, Hanuel. People are starting to talk. People always talked. The blind omega son. The defective one. The one they kept hidden, except when they needed to prove they hadn't completely given up on me. I'd lasted an hour before the sensory overload became unbearable. The bathroom hadn't been enough. I'd needed out. Air. Space. Instead, I'd found this. I took a slow breath, trying to ground myself. The car smelled incredible. Not just the leather and the rain-like scent, but something else. 3 distinct notes, layered together. Cedar strong grounding with a sharp edge. Smoke, not cigarettes. Something cleaner, like a wood fire. Ice crisp, cold, almost medicinal in its clarity. 3 scents, 3 alphas. My stomach dropped. This wasn't just any car. This was someone's personal vehicle. Multiple someone's. I needed to leave. Now. My hands fumbled for the door handle. Locked. No. 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 I tried the other side. Also locked. Panic surged fresh and hot. I was trapped. I'd broken into someone's car, and now I was trapped. And when they found me, the driver's side door opened. I froze. Footsteps, deliberate, slow. The car dipped slightly as someone slid into the front seat. The scent of cedar intensified. A door on the opposite side opened. Another presence. The smoke scent. Then the door right next to me. The ice. 3 of them. All around me. The door beside me clicked shut. Well, the voice came from my left. Deep, smooth, controlled. This is unexpected. My mouth went dry. I pressed harder against the door at my back, my hands gripping the leather. Don't move. The voice from the front seat, sharper, colder, hands where we can see them. I raised my hands immediately, palms out. My whole body was shaking now. He's Omega. The third voice. Directly across from me. Quieter than the others, but somehow more dangerous. Scents all over the back seat. I can smell him. Cedar voice. The one to my left. Fear. Panic. A pause. Pain. I didn't mean. My voice cracked. I didn't mean to. The door was unlocked and I needed. Breathe. The command came from the front. Cold voice. Before you pass out. I sucked in air. Too fast. My lungs burned. Slower. Cedar voice again. Closer now. In through your nose. Count to 4. I didn't know why I obeyed. Maybe because the authority in his tone left no room for argument. Maybe because I was too terrified to do anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 4 counts. I held. Out through your mouth. 4 counts. I exhaled shakily. Again. I did it again. And again. My heartbeat began to slow. The vice around my chest loosened. Better, Cedar voice said. Now, tell us why you're in our car. Our car. All 3 of them. I was running, I whispered. From someone. The door was open. I panicked. I'm sorry. I'll leave. Just unlock the door and I'll. Running from who? Ice voice. The one across from me. I don't know. An alpha. He grabbed me. I lost my cane and. Your cane. A pause. You're blind. It wasn't a question. I nodded anyway. Silence filled the car. Heavy. Assessing. What's your name? Cedar voice. Hanuel. Hanuel. He repeated it slowly, like he was tasting it. I'm Kangdae. This is my brother Jiwon. The front seat. And Taejoon. Across from me. Brothers. Triplets maybe, given how their scents layered together in perfect, distinct harmony. We're not going to hurt you, Kangdae said. His voice had softened fractionally. But we need to know what happened. Everything. I told them. The party. The parking garage. The alpha who'd grabbed me. My lost cane. When I finished, the silence returned. Then Jiwon spoke from the front seat. Describe him. I can't see. His voice, his scent, anything. I focused, pulling the memory back. His voice was slick, like oil. His scent was sharp, cheap cologne, aggression underneath, like he was holding himself back. Holding back from what? Taejoon's voice was soft, but there was an edge to it. I didn't want to answer, but the truth spilled out anyway. From taking what he wanted, the temperature in the car dropped. He touched you. Kangdae, not a question. My wrist. He grabbed my wrist. Show me. I hesitated, then extended my left arm. Warm fingers Kangdae's wrapped gently around my wrist. His thumb brushed over the spot where the other alpha had gripped me. Bruising, he said quietly. Jiwon. I see it. Jiwon's voice was ice. Taejoon, pull up the garage security feed. On it. I sat there, drowning in their scents, in their presence, while they worked around me with terrifying efficiency. Got him, Taejoon said. Blue shirt, brown hair, currently harassing another Omega near the elevator. Name. Jiwon. Scanning the guest list. There. Park Seungri. Invited +1 to the Kim engagement party. Kim. Myeon's fiance's last name. He's at my cousin's party, I whispered. 3 sets of eyes turned toward me. I could feel the weight of their attention. Your cousin, Kangdae said slowly, is Myeon Kim? I nodded. More silence. Then Jiwon laughed. It wasn't a pleasant sound. Well, Hanuel, it seems you've had a very interesting night. I just want to go home. Where's home? Taejoon asked. I rattled off my address. North side, 40 minutes away. We'll take you, Kangdae said. No, I can call. You don't have your cane, you're shaking, and there's an alpha in that garage who put his hands on you. His voice went hard. We're taking you home. The engine purred to life. I should have argued. Should have insisted. Should have been more afraid of 3 strange alphas than I was of going back out there alone. But their scents, God, their scents wrapped around me like armor. Cedar, smoke, ice, And for the first time since I'd entered that parking garage, I felt safe. The car began to move, and I realized with crystal clarity that my life had just changed in ways I couldn't begin to understand. The car moved with a smooth, predatory grace. I could feel every turn, every shift in momentum. My body swayed slightly with the motion, but the seat cradled me, keeping me steady. I focused on breathing, on the rhythm of the engine, on anything except the three alphas surrounding me. It didn't work. Their presence was overwhelming. Not aggressive, nothing like the alpha in the garage, but total, complete, like they occupied every molecule of air in the car. "You're still shaking." Kangdae's voice came from beside me, close enough that I could feel the warmth radiating from his body. "I'm fine." "You're not." Matter of fact, no judgment, just observation. I pressed my hands flat against my thighs, trying to still them. It didn't help. A soft rustling sound. Then something warm and heavy settled over my shoulders. A jacket. It smelled like cedar, an expensive fabric softener. "You're cold," Kangdae said. I wasn't. But I pulled the jacket tighter anyway, burying my nose in the collar. The scent helped. Grounded me. "Thank you." "Don't thank us yet," Jiwon's voice from the front seat. "We haven't decided what to do with you." My stomach clenched. "Do with me? You broke into our car." His tone was conversational, almost amused. "That's a crime, technically." "I didn't break in. The door was unlocked." "Yes." A pause. "Taejoon forgot to lock it. He's been distracted lately." "I'm sitting right here," Taejoon said mildly from across from me. "And I wasn't distracted. I was efficient. You left the car unlocked in downtown Chicago. And look what we found." The way he said it like I was something valuable, something worth finding, sent heat crawling up my neck. "I'll pay for any damages," I said quickly. If I messed anything up." "You didn't." Kangdae's voice was closer now, right beside my ear. "But you did leave your scent all over our back seat." My breath caught. Omega scent in an alpha's car. In their territory, that was. "Relax." His tone softened. "We're not upset. Just curious." "About what?" "About why Myeon Kim's cousin was running through a parking garage alone. About why you smell like fear and exhaustion and He paused, inhaled slowly. "Loneliness." I flinched. He could smell that? Of course he could. Alphas with that level of control, that kind of presence, they could read emotions like I read Braille. "The party was too much," I said stiffly. "I needed air." "The party," Jiwon repeated. "The Kim Park engagement celebration. 500 guests, full orchestra, 2 senators in attendance." He rattled off details like he'd memorized them. Like he'd been there. "You know a lot about it." "We were invited." My head snapped toward the front seat. "You were at the party?" "No." "We declined." A hint of amusement in his voice. "We don't do crowds." "Neither do I," I muttered. "Clearly." Taejoon's voice was dry. "Given that you're currently hiding in a stranger's car." "I'm not hiding. I stopped. Because he was right. I was hiding. I'd been hiding my whole life." The car slowed. Stopped. A red light, probably. "Your cousin is marrying Park Joon-ho," Kangdae said. It wasn't a question. "Yes." "Do you know him?" "I've met him twice." "He seems nice." "Nice?" The word dripped with skepticism. "Joon-ho Park is many things. Nice isn't one of them." Warning bells went off in my head. "What do you mean?" "Nothing you need to worry about." But his tone said otherwise. "Just be careful around that family." Before I could ask what he meant, Jiwon spoke again. "What's your address?" I'd already given it to them, but I repeated it anyway. Silence. Then, "That's the Northbrook Towers." "Yes." 18th floor?" "Yes." My skin prickled. "How did you—" "We own the building." The words hung in the air like a bomb. They owned my building, the place I'd lived for 3 years. The only space in the world that was truly mine. "Oh." My voice sounded hollow. "Small world. Very small." Kangdae shifted beside me. I could feel his attention like a physical weight. "Which means we're not strangers, Hanuel. We're your landlords." "Landlords?" "Right, that made this—" "What? Better? Worse?" "I pay my rent on time," I said defensively. A low chuckle from Taejoon. "We know. You've never been late. Not once." "You check?" We check everything. The car accelerated again. Smooth. Controlled. Like everything else about them. I should have been afraid. Should have demanded they let me out. Should have done anything except sit there wrapped in Kangdae's jacket, breathing in their scents, feeling safer than I had in years. What was wrong with me? You're quiet, Kangdae observed. I'm thinking. About? About why 3 alphas who own half of Chicago are driving a blind Omega home at midnight. Half of Chicago? Jiwon sounded amused. You flatter us. We only own a quarter. Jiwon. Kangdae's voice held a warning. What? He should know who he's dealing with. And who am I dealing with? I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. A pause. Then Taejoon spoke. We're businessmen. Investors. We buy things, fix them, make them profitable. Things like buildings, among other things. The way he said it made my skin prickle. Like buildings weren't the only things they fixed. The Kim family, I said slowly. You know them. We know everyone. Jiwon's tone was neutral. It's part of the business. And Park Seungri? The alpha in the garage? Silence. Heavy. Loaded. Then Kangdae spoke, his voice soft and deadly. He won't bother you again. What does that mean? It means, Taejoon said quietly, that by tomorrow morning, he'll be on a flight back to Seoul with a very clear understanding of what happens to people who put their hands on what doesn't belong to them. What doesn't belong to them? Not who. What? Like I was. Property. Like I was. We don't mean it like that. Kangdae's hand touched my shoulder, gentle, grounding. We just mean, you're under our protection now. I didn't ask for protection. You hid in our car. You accepted our help. That's asking, Hanuel. Was it? I didn't know anymore. My head was spinning. The car turned. The road beneath us changed smoother, quieter. We were close to home. Why are you doing this? The question burst out of me. You don't know me. You don't owe me anything. Why? You're Omega. Kangdae's voice was gentle, firm. You were in distress. Any decent alpha would help. You're not any alpha. No, he agreed softly. We're not. The car slowed. Stopped. The engine cut off. We're here, Jiwon announced. Home. I was home. Relief and disappointment warred in my chest. I should have been grateful. Should have thanked them and run. Instead, I sat frozen. Hanuel. Kangdae's hand squeezed my shoulder gently. Do you have your keys? Keys. Right. I patted my pockets. Found them. Yes. Good. He opened his door. Cool night air rushed in. We'll walk you up. That's not necessary. We insist. The door beside me opened. Taejoon. His hand appeared in front of me. Come on, before we all freeze. I took his hand before I could overthink it. His skin was warm, rough with calluses, strong. He helped me out of the car with surprising gentleness. My legs wobbled. How long had I been sitting? And his other hand caught my elbow, steadying me. Easy. I'm fine. You keep saying that. His voice held a smile. I don't think you know what fine means. Kangdae appeared on my other side. The jacket was still around my shoulders. Where's your cane? Gone. Lost in the... We'll get you a new one. Tomorrow. I can get my own 0%. Tomorrow, he repeated. Gentle. Immovable. Jiwon's footsteps approached from the front. The lobby's clear. Let's move. They surrounded me. Not crowding. Not suffocating. Just there. A wall of warmth and cedar and smoke and ice. We walked together toward the building's entrance. The night doorman, Marcus, who always smelled like peppermint gum, opened the door. Mr. Hanuel, good evening. I see you have company. His voice was carefully neutral, but I could hear the curiosity, the surprise. Evening, Marcus. Taejoon's voice was pleasant, professional. We're just seeing Mr. Song safely home. Of course, sir. Have a good night. Sir. Marcus had called Taejoon sir, because they owned the building, because they owned everything. The elevator dinged. We stepped inside. The doors closed with a soft hiss. 18 floors. Just 18 floors. Then I could lock myself in my apartment and process what the hell had just happened. But as the elevator climbed, Kangdae's hand still warm on my shoulder, Taejoon's presence solid beside me, Jiwon's scent filling the small space, I realized something terrifying. I didn't want them to leave. The elevator hummed, Numbers climbed. 10, 11, 12. I counted them in my head, matching the soft chime of each floor to the tightening knot in my chest. Why didn't I want them to leave? They were strangers. Powerful strangers who owned my building, who knew people I knew, who had appeared out of nowhere and inserted themselves into my disaster of a night. I should want them gone. 13, 14, 15. Your heart's racing. Kangdae's voice was quiet, observant. Elevators, I lied. I don't like them. You live on the 18th floor. I know where I live. A soft huff of amusement from Taejoon. He's got teeth. I like that. 16, 17. The elevator slowed. My fingers tightened around my keys. 18. The doors opened with a whisper. Cool air hit my face. The hallway smelled like carpet cleaner and the lilacs Mrs. Chen always kept in a vase by her door. Home. Familiar. Which way? Jiwon asked. Left. End of the hall. We moved together. Their footsteps were nearly silent. Mine weren't. I'd lost my cane, and without it, every step felt uncertain, exposed. Kangdae's hand remained on my shoulder. Guiding, not controlling. The distinction mattered. We reached my door. 18E. I'd traced the numbers so many times the metal was worn smooth under my fingertips. I fumbled with my keys. Dropped them. Damn it. Here. Taejoon bent down, retrieved them. Pressed them back into my palm, his fingers lingering for just a moment. You're exhausted. I'm fine. If you say that one more time, Jiwon said from behind us, I'm going to start keeping count. Despite everything, my lips twitched. Almost a smile. I found the lock, turned the key. The door swung open. My apartment breathed out at me. Lavender from the diffuser I'd left running. Old books. The faint scent of the tea I'd made this morning. Safety. I stepped inside, turned to face them, even though I couldn't see their expressions. Thank you. For the ride. For everything. Silence. Then Kangdae. Can we come in? My breath caught. Why? To make sure you're settled, that you're safe. I'm safe. I'm home. Humor us. His voice dropped lower, softer. Please. That last word did something to me. These alphas, these powerful, controlled men asking, not demanding. I stepped back. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Kangdae agreed. They entered my space like they belonged there. No hesitation, no awkwardness. Just 3 presences filling my small apartment with cedar and smoke and ice. I heard Jiwon move toward the windows. You have a good view. Lake Michigan. City lights. So, I'm told. Right. A pause. Sorry. Don't be. I know what I'm missing. I just experience it differently. Taejoon was in my kitchen. I could hear him opening cabinets. When did you last eat? I had something at the party. That's not an answer. Lunch. I had lunch. It's past midnight. His voice held disapproval. You haven't eaten in 12 hours. I was busy, running for my life, hiding in cars, you know, normal Saturday night. A low chuckle from Kangdae. He was close. Very close. Sit down before you fall down. I'm not going to. My knees buckled. Strong arms caught me. Kangdae's scent enveloped me as he lifted me effortlessly. Not going to fall? Finish that sentence. I couldn't, because he was carrying me to my couch, setting me down with a gentleness that made my throat tight. Stay, he ordered. Then softer. Please. I stayed. Sounds of movement. Taejoon in the kitchen. Running water, the clink of dishes. Jiwon's footsteps moving through my apartment, checking doors, windows, making sure everything was secure. And Kangdae, right in front of me. I could feel him crouched down, could feel his attention like sunlight. Give me your hand. I hesitated, extended my left hand, his fingers wrapped around my wrist. The one the other alpha had grabbed. His touch was feather light, but I could feel the leash strength beneath it. Does it hurt? A little. He'll pay for that. You keep saying that. What does it mean? It means Park Seung-gri is going to learn a very expensive lesson about respect. Before I could respond, something cold pressed against my wrist. I jerked. Ice pack, Kangdae explained. For the bruising. Keep it there. You can sit there and let us take care of you. Just for tonight. Tonight. Just tonight. Then they'd leave and this would be over and my life would go back to what? To loneliness? To hiding? Why do you care? The question came out raw, broken. You don't know me. We're starting to. His thumb brushed the inside of my wrist, just above the ice pack. The touch sent electricity up my arm. And what we're learning, we like. My heart hammered. You don't know anything about me. We know you're brave. You ran when you were cornered. You hid when you needed safety. You survived. That's not brave. That's instinct. Same thing. His hand squeezed gently. We also know you live alone. You keep your apartment immaculate. You have 17 books in Braille on that shelf. You listen to classical music, there's a record player in the corner. And you drink lavender tea before bed. I swallowed hard. You got all that in 30 seconds? We're observant. You're invasive. Maybe. He didn't sound apologetic. But we're also right. Footsteps. Taejoon. Soup's heating. It'll be ready in 5. I don't need ass. You need, Jiwon said, his voice coming from near the window. Your body's running on adrenaline and fear. When that crashes, you'll crash. Food will help. They were right. I knew they were right. But accepting help felt like admitting weakness. I'm not weak, I said quietly. No one said you were. Kangdae's voice was firm. Being Omega doesn't make you weak. Being blind doesn't make you weak. Needing help sometimes? That's just being human. Something in my chest cracked. I'd spent 23 years being told I was less, defective, a burden. My parents loved me in their way, but their love came wrapped in pity and low expectations. These 3 alpha strangers were treating me like I was capable, like I was worth their time. It was terrifying. The soup's ready. Taejoon appeared beside me. The scent hit me first: chicken, ginger, something green. It's hot. I'm putting it on the coffee table. Bowl's at your 2 o'clock. I reached out, found the bowl. Warm ceramic against my palms. Spoon's inside, be careful. I found the spoon, brought it to my lips. The soup was perfect, rich, savory, exactly what my body needed. I ate in silence while they moved around me, straightening things that didn't need straightening. Their presence was strange but not uncomfortable. Like they'd done this before. Like they knew how to exist in someone else's space without overwhelming it. Better? Kangdae asked when I'd finished. Yes, thank you. Good. He took the bowl. Now we need to talk about tomorrow. My guard went up. What about tomorrow? You need a new cane. We'll take you to get one. I can. If you say you can do it yourself, Jiwon interrupted. I'm going to start that count, I mentioned. Despite everything, I smiled. I have a spare cane. In my closet. Then we'll pick you up for lunch. Why? Because we want to. Kangdae's hand touched my shoulder again, that same grounding touch. Because we're not done getting to know you. You don't, this isn't, I struggled for words. I'm not looking for anything. Neither were we. His voice held a smile. Until about an hour ago. My pulse skipped. This is crazy. Probably. You're my landlords. Technically true. I don't even know your last name. Choi. Taejoon's voice from the kitchen. Kangdae, Jiwon, and Taejoon Choi. Triplets. 31 years old. CEOs of Choi Capital Group. And currently very interested in having lunch with you tomorrow. Choi Capital Group. I'd heard of them. Everyone had. They were rich, I said faintly. You're very rich. Wealth is relative. Jiwon's voice was amused. Not when you own my building. We own 47 buildings in Chicago alone, Kangdae said. Yours is our favorite. Why? Because you live in it. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Significant. This wasn't happening. This couldn't be happening. I need to think, I said. About all of this. Fair. Kangdae stood. I could feel the movement. Think. We'll come by tomorrow at noon. If you want lunch, you'll answer the door. If you don't, you won't. Your choice. Your choice. Not a command. Not an expectation. Just an offer. Okay, I heard myself say. Noon. I could feel their satisfaction. All 3 of them. Get some rest, Jiwon said. Lock the door behind us. And Hanuel? Yes? Keep the jacket. It looks better on you anyway. I'd forgotten I was still wearing it. Kangdae's jacket, cedar and safety. They moved toward the door. 3 sets of footsteps. 3 presences that had somehow made my small apartment feel less empty. Good night, Hanuel. Kangdae said softly. Good night. The door closed. The lock clicked. I sat alone in my apartment, wrapped in an alpha's jacket, tasting soup on my lips, and wondering what the hell I'd just agreed to. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A text. Voice to text, read it aloud. Unknown number. Sleep well. We'll see you tomorrow. K. J. T. They'd gotten my number. Of course they had. I should have been angry, concerned, something. Instead I smiled. And for the first time in months, I fell asleep on my couch, feeling not quite so alone. Sleep didn't last. I woke to my phone vibrating against the coffee table. The sound dragged me up from dreams I couldn't remember, dreams that smelled like cedar and smoke and ice. My hand fumbled for the phone, knocked it to the floor. Damn it. I slid off the couch, my body stiff from sleeping in an awkward position. My fingers found the phone. Answered before checking who it was. Hello? Hanuel. My mother's voice, sharp, worried. Where are you? I blinked, disoriented. Home. Where else would I be? You left the party. You didn't say goodbye. Your father and I have been calling for hours. Hours. How long had I slept? I fumbled for my watch. The one that spoke the time when I pressed the button. 6:47 a.m. The mechanical voice announced. Dawn. I'd slept maybe 5 hours. I wasn't feeling well, I said, pushing myself to sitting. I came home early. Without telling anyone? Hanuel, that's incredibly irresponsible. What if something had happened to you? Something did happen. An alpha grabbed me. I hid in a car. 3 brothers drove me home and made me soup. But I couldn't say any of that. I'm fine, Mom. I just needed to leave. You embarrassed us, Mion asked where you went. We had to make excuses. Of course. Because my needs, my comfort, my panic, none of that mattered as much as appearances. I'm sorry, I said automatically. The words tasted like ash. Your father wants to talk to you. About your behavior. My behavior. Like I was a child who'd misbehaved instead of an adult who'd fled a dangerous situation. I have to go, I said. I have plans. Plans? What plans? Lunch. With friends. The lie came easily. Too easily. What friends? You don't have. She stopped. Reconsidered. Who? People from the building. I have to go, Mom. I'll call you later. I hung up before she could argue. My hands were shaking again, different from last night. This was anger, not fear. I stood, stretched, winced at the ache in my wrist where the bruise was forming. The ice pack had melted hours ago, leaving a damp spot on the couch. I needed to move, to ground myself. My spare cane was in the closet, right where I'd left it. I unfolded it, the familiar weight settling in my palm. Better. More in control. I made my way to the bathroom. Shower, coffee, normalcy. Except nothing felt normal. Kangdae's jacket hung on the back of my couch, cedar scent still clinging to the fabric. Their text message sat in my phone. Their presence lingered in my apartment like ghosts. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow was now today. Noon. They'd said noon. I had 5 hours to decide if I was actually going to answer that door. The shower helped. Hot water, familiar routines. By the time I emerged, dressed in jeans and a soft sweater, I felt more like myself. Coffee. I needed coffee. I was measuring grounds when my phone rang again. Not my mother this time. The ringtone was different. Hello? Hanuel, it's Mion, my cousin. Bride-to-be. The reason I'd been at that party in the first place. Hey, congratulations on Disto. Where did you go last night? Her voice was tight, strained. Mom said you disappeared. I wasn't feeling well. Too many people. You could have told me. I was worried. She sounded worried. Actually worried, not just annoyed like my mother. I'm sorry. I should have said something. Are you okay? Really? The question caught me off guard. When was the last time someone had asked if I was okay and actually waited for an answer? I'm okay, I said slowly. It was just overwhelming. I know. She sighed. It was too much. Junho's family insisted on inviting half of Chicago. I wanted something smaller, but she stopped. That's not why I'm calling. My stomach tightened. Why are you calling? Someone asked about you. Last night, after you left. Who? The Choi brothers. My heart stopped. They were at the party? Not exactly. They showed up around 11. Junho's father invited them, they're investors in his company. They stayed maybe 20 minutes. But before they left, Kangdae Choi asked where you were. My mouth went dry. What did you tell him? That you'd left early. That you weren't feeling well. A pause. Hanuel, why would Kangdae Choi ask about you? Do you know him? Did I? We'd spent maybe 2 hours together. They'd driven me home, made me soup, asked me to lunch. We've met, I said carefully. Met how? When? It's complicated. Hanuel. Her voice dropped. The Choi brothers are not people you get complicated with. They're powerful, dangerous. There are rumors. What kind of rumors? She hesitated. That they don't do anything without a reason. That they're ruthless in business. That people who cross them and disappear. Disappear. Like Park Seung-gri was going to disappear on a flight to Seoul. They helped me, I said quietly. Last night, someone bothered me. They helped. Silence. Then, oh God. Who bothered you? What happened? Nothing happened. They made sure of that. Hanuel, I have to go, Mion. Thank you for calling. And congratulations again. I'm happy for you. Wait. I hung up. My hands weren't shaking anymore. They were steady. Certain. The Choi brothers were dangerous. I'd known that the moment they'd surrounded me in that car, I'd felt their power, their control, their capacity for violence barely leashed. But they'd been gentle with me. They'd been kind. And I was so tired of being afraid. I finished making coffee, drank it black and bitter, ate toast I didn't taste. The hours crawled. 9 a.m., 10, 11. I cleaned my apartment even though it was already clean. Reorganized my braille books. Watered plants I'd probably already watered yesterday. Anything to keep moving. To not think about the decision I'd already made. 11:30. I changed my sweater. Chose one that was softer. Navy blue, my mother had told me once. Like I could care about colors, but I cared that it felt right. That it didn't have stains or pulls. 11:45. I stood by the door, waiting, my cane in one hand. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. We're downstairs. Ready when you are. No pressure. K. No pressure. But they were already here. Already waiting. I could ignore it. Pretend I wasn't home. They'd leave eventually. Except I didn't want them to leave. I wanted to know what lunch felt like, with 3 alphas who looked at me like I was something rare. Something valuable. I wanted to feel safe again. Noon. The knock came soft. Controlled. 3 knocks. One from each of them, maybe. I opened the door. Hello, Hanuel. Kangdae's voice. Warm. Pleased. Hi. You answered. Taejoon. I'm glad. Me too, I admitted. Ready? Jiwon asked. Yes. But I need to know something first. Ask. My cousin called. She said you asked about me last night. At the party. Silence. Then Kangdae. We did. Why? You didn't know me yet. We saw you, earlier. In the lobby. You were heading toward the elevators. You looked. He paused. Lost. Overwhelmed. We noticed. You were at the hotel before I hid in your car? Yes. So you knew who I was. When you found me. We suspected. We confirmed when you gave us your name. My breath caught. This whole time. We wanted to see if you'd tell us the truth, Jiwon said. You did? That mattered. You tested me. We protected you, Kangdae corrected. There's a difference. I should have been angry. Should have slammed the door in their faces. Instead, I stepped into the hallway. If we're doing this lunch, getting to know each other, whatever this is, no more tests. No more games. Agreed, Kangdae said immediately. Agreed, Jiwon echoed. Agreed, Taejoon finished. Honesty from here forward. On both sides. Both sides? You have secrets too, Hanuel. We can smell them. He was right. I did. Fears, shame, years of hiding. Fair, I said. Honesty. Good. Kangdae's hand touched my elbow. Gentle. Guiding. Let's go. We have reservations. Where? Somewhere quiet. Somewhere you can actually taste the food instead of drowning in other people's emotions. They'd thought about what I needed. What would make me comfortable? These dangerous, powerful men were trying to take care of me. I was in so much trouble. We walked to the elevator together. Their bodies formed a protective circle around me, not caging, just present. Like they'd done this before. Like they knew exactly how much space I needed. The elevator doors opened. We stepped inside. "Where are we going?" I asked as we descended. "Nostos," Taejoon said. "Greek restaurant. Private dining room. Chef's an old friend." "You have a lot of old friends." "We have a lot of useful connections," Jiwon corrected. "Friends are rarer." The elevator reached the ground floor. Marcus's voice greeted us immediately. "Mr. Choi." "Sirs." "Mr. Hanuel." Professional, respectful, but I could hear the curiosity humming beneath his words. "Marcus." Kangdae's tone was pleasant but dismissive. A clear signal. Don't ask questions. We moved through the lobby. The morning air hit my face as we stepped outside, cool, crisp, carrying the scent of car exhaust and someone's coffee. "The car's right here," Taejoon said. "The same car from last night." I recognized it by the soft click of the door, the smell of leather, and their combined scents still lingering. Jiwon guided me into the back seat. Kangdae slid in beside me. Taejoon took the front passenger seat this time. "Who's driving?" I asked. "I am." Jiwon. Of course. The controlled one, the cold one. The engine purred to life. We pulled into traffic. "Tell me about Nostos," I said, needing to fill the silence. "Small place, 20 tables, but the private room only fits 6. Soundproofed. The chef focuses on texture and temperature contrasts. You'll like it." "You're very sure about what I'll like." "We're observant," Kangdae said. "You mentioned last night that sensory overload is your weakness. We're simply removing the variables that cause it." "That's very," I searched for the word, "considerate. We take care of what's ours." "What's ours?" There it was again. That possessive edge. "I'm not yours," I said quietly. "Not yet." His voice held a smile. "But you could be." My heart hammered. "You don't even know me." "Then let us." The car turned, slowed, stopped. "We're here," Jiwon announced. Doors opened. Cool air, the scent of olive oil and lemon, and something baking. Kangdae's hand found mine. 3 steps up, then through the door. I climbed, stepped inside. The restaurant's air was different from outside, warmer, herb-scented, with the underlying hum of conversation that was somehow soothing instead of overwhelming. "Kangdae," a new voice. Male, older, heavy accent. "You didn't tell me you were bringing someone special." "Dimitri, this is Hanuel." "Hanuel, Dimitri owns Nostos." "Welcome, welcome." Warm hands clasped mine. Dimitri smelled like garlic and wine and happiness. "Any friend of the Choi brothers is family here. Come, come. Your room is ready." He led us through the restaurant. The sounds faded as we moved deeper into the building. A door opened. The private room smelled like candle wax and fresh bread. The air was still, quiet. "Perfect. Sit, sit." Dimitri pulled out a chair. I sat. "I make you something special today. Something to taste, to feel, to remember." "Yes?" "Yes," I said, smiling. "Thank you." "No thanks needed. You make my friends smile. That is payment enough." He left. The door closed softly. Silence. Then Taejoon. "He likes you." "How can you tell?" "He didn't try to upsell us on wine. That's Dimitri's version of approval." I laughed. Actually laughed. The sound surprised me. "There it is," Kangdae murmured. "I was waiting for that." "For what?" "For you to relax. To let your guard down." "My guard is still up." "Liar." But his tone was gentle. Teasing. Something was placed in front of me. A plate. The scent hit me: warm bread, olive oil, something sharp and tangy. "Bread," Jiwon said from across the table. "Oil and vinegar for dipping. Plates at noon, small bowl at 3 o'clock. He was giving me positions, like I'd asked, like he understood. "Thank you." I tore the bread, dipped it, tasted. Heaven. Warm and crispy and rich with olive oil and the sharp bite of good vinegar. "Good?" Taejoon asked. "Amazing. Wait until you try the main course." Dimitri's preparing lamb, slow roasted. "It'll melt on your tongue." We ate. They described each dish as it arrived. Colors I couldn't see, presentations I couldn't appreciate, but they translated it into textures and temperatures and scents I could understand. And they asked questions. "Tell us about your family," Kangdae said. I stiffened. "What do you want to know?" Whatever you want to share. I took a breath. My parents are good people. They love me. But they've spent my entire life being afraid for me. Afraid I'd get hurt. Afraid I couldn't handle the world, so I paused. They kept me small, safe, hidden. That's why you were so overwhelmed last night, Taejoon said. You don't go out much. No, I work from home. I have groceries delivered. My life is very contained. What do you do for work? Jiwon asked. I'm a translator. Korean to English, English to Korean. Technical documents mostly, medical, legal, business contracts. That's impressive. It's isolated, but it pays well. And no one has to see me to know I'm good at it. You say that like being seen is a bad thing, Kangdae observed. It is when all they see is what's broken. His hand found mine on the table. Squeezed. You're not broken, Hanuel. You're just different. There's a distinction. People don't see it that way. We're not people. We're alphas who know value when we find it. Value. That word again. Why me? The question burst out. You could have anyone. Why would you want you? Taejoon interrupted. We want you. Not anyone, you. But why? Silence. Then Jiwon spoke, his voice uncharacteristically soft. Because you're real. Because you don't want anything from us except safety. Because when we walked into that party last night and saw you standing in that lobby, looking lost and afraid and so damn brave, trying to hold yourself together. He stopped. We felt it, all three of us, at the same time. Felt what? Recognition, Kangdae said. Like we'd been waiting for you without knowing it. My throat tightened. That's not possible. Isn't it? His thumb stroked the back of my hand. We're alphas, Hanuel. Triplet alphas. Do you know how rare that is? I shook my head. 3 alphas born together, same mother, same womb. We share everything, thoughts, instincts, needs. We've never found an omega who fit all 3 of us. Until now. The words hung in the air like a promise. A threat. A future I hadn't asked for. You're talking about bonding, I whispered. Eventually. If you want it. If you choose us. 3 bonds. That's intense, Taejoon agreed. Complete. Forever. I don't do forever. I barely do today. Then start with today, Kangdae said. Have lunch with us. Let us take you home. Answer the door tomorrow when we knock. One day at a time, Hanuel. No pressure, no expectations. Except there were expectations. I could feel them. Could smell the want rolling off all 3 of them. They desired me. Not despite my blindness. Not in spite of it. Just me. I'm scared, I admitted. Good, so are we. You? Scared? Terrified, Jiwon said flatly. You have no idea how much power you have over us already. I don't have any power. You do. You just don't see it yet. Kangdae's hand tightened on mine. We would burn down half of Chicago for you. And we've known you less than 24 hours. Imagine what we'd do after a week, a month, a year. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Too much? Taejoon asked gently. Yes. No. I don't know. Eat, Kangdae ordered. Food first. Existential crisis later. Despite everything, I smiled. The lamb arrived. They were right, it melted on my tongue. Tender and rich and perfect. We talked about safer things. Books, music, the buildings they owned, my translation work. But underneath every word was the unspoken truth. Something had shifted. Some invisible line had been crossed. They weren't just helping me anymore. They were courting me. And God help me, I was letting them. When the meal ended, Dmitri returned. You enjoyed? It was perfect, I said. Thank you. You come back, anytime, with or without these troublemakers. We're paying customers, Jiwon protested. You're family. Family doesn't pay. But I heard the smile in his voice. We left the restaurant. The car ride back was quieter, more thoughtful. They walked me back to my apartment. All 3 of them. Like a ritual. At my door, Kangdae spoke. Tomorrow. Same time. If you want. What if I don't answer? Then we'll wait. And the day after? And the day after that. That's stalking. That's devotion. I unlocked my door. Turned. I had a good time. Thank you. Hanuel. Taejoon's voice. Can I ask you something? Yes. The jacket. Are you still wearing it? I froze. Because I was. Under my sweater. Kangdae's jacket pressed against my skin. Yes, I whispered. Good. Satisfaction in his voice. Keep it. They left. But their scents lingered. And when I closed the door, locked it, and pressed my back against the wood, I smiled. I was still smiling when my phone rang. The sound shattered the quiet. I fumbled for it, my heart still racing from their departure. Hello? Hanuel song? A woman's voice. Professional. Unfamiliar. My smile faded. Yes. Who is this? My name is Rachel Park. I'm an attorney with Morrison & Associates. I represent your building's ownership group, Choi Capital. My stomach dropped. Is something wrong? Not at all. I'm calling because the Choi brothers have requested a modification to your lease agreement. The world tilted. What kind of modification? They'd like to upgrade your unit. New appliances, accessibility features, soundproofing. At no cost to you, of course. They've also requested permission to install a security system for your safety. My safety. Their words. Coming through a lawyer's mouth. They didn't mention this at lunch. A pause. You had lunch with them today? Yes. Another pause. Longer this time. I see. Well, the request was filed this morning, before your lunch. They're moving quickly on this. Because they'd decided I was theirs before I'd even answered my door. What happens if I say no? I asked carefully. Nothing. Your lease remains as is. But Mr. Hanuel? Between you and me? Her voice dropped. The Choi brothers don't make offers like this. Ever. Whatever you are to them, it's significant. Significant. Like I was a business acquisition, an investment. I need time to think about it. Of course, you have my number. Call anytime. She hung up. I stood there, phone in hand, my mind racing. They were already changing my life, already making decisions, already claiming territory, and they'd done it before I'd agreed to anything. My phone buzzed. A text. My accessibility app read it aloud in its flat, mechanical voice. Message from Kangdae Choi, Rachel called. We should have asked first. We're sorry. No pressure. The offer stands whenever you're ready. I stared at the phone, or where I thought it was. How did he know she just called? Another buzz. Message from Taejoon Choi. We have alerts on your building. Security reasons. Not stalking. Mostly. Despite my confusion, my lips twitched. A third buzz. Message from Jiwon Choi. Stop overthinking, we're trying to take care of you, let us. I dictated a response. You're moving too fast. Buzz. Message from Kangdae Choi. We know, we can't help it. You make us. Impulsive. Buzz. Message from Taejoon Choi. We'll slow down, promise. Buzz. Message from Jiwon Choi. Liar. We won't, but we'll try to warn you first. I laughed. Actually laughed, alone in my apartment, at three alphas who were systematically dismantling every wall I'd ever built. I was about to respond when someone knocked on my door. Not the soft, controlled knock from earlier. This was sharp, aggressive. My body tensed. Who is it? It's your father, Hanuel. Open the door. Shit. I unlocked the door. Opened it. My father's scent hit me immediately. Stress, anger, and underneath it all, fear. Dad. What are you? Inside. Now. He pushed past me. My mother's presence followed, her perfume cloying and sharp. We need to talk, she said. I closed the door. Gripped my cane tighter. About what? About the Choi brothers. My father's voice was hard. About why they're suddenly interested in my son. How did you? Mi-yeon called your mother. Said they asked about you at the party. Then we hear from Marcus that they picked you up today. Took you to lunch. He moved closer. I could feel his anger radiating. What the hell is going on? Hanuel? They're friends. You don't have friends, my mother said, not cruelly, just factually. You have us. You have your work. You have your safe, quiet life. You don't have friends like the Choi brothers. Maybe I do now. Don't be naive. My father's hand gripped my shoulder, too tight. Men like that don't befriend people like you without a reason. What do they want? People like you. Defective, broken, useless. The words he didn't say hung in the air. They want to get to know me, I said quietly. Why? Because they like me. My mother laughed. Sharp, disbelieving. Hanuel. Sweetheart. The Choi brothers are alphas. Powerful alphas. They could have any omega in Chicago. Why would they? Why would they want me? I finished. That's what you're asking, isn't it? Why would anyone want the blind, weak omega who can't even handle a party? Silence. Thick. Damning. That's not what we meant, my father said finally. Yes, it is. I pulled away from his grip. It's what you've always meant. I'm a liability. An embarrassment. Something to hide. We've protected you. You've suffocated me. The words exploded out. Years of resentment and pain and rage I'd swallowed down. You've kept me locked away like I'm made of glass, like the world will break me. The world will break you, my mother said softly. We've seen it happen. To others like you. Others like me. I laughed bitterly. You can't even say it. Disabled. Blind. Omega. These are just words, Mom. They're not death sentences. The Choi brothers are dangerous, my father insisted. There are rumors. I know about the rumors. And you're still seeing them? Yes. Why? Because they make me feel safe. Because they see me as more than my blindness. Because for the first time in my life, someone is treating me like I'm capable. But I couldn't say that. Not to them. Because I want to, I said instead. My father's anger spiked. I could smell it, acrid and sharp. You're being stupid, reckless. Maybe. But it's my choice. You don't understand what you're dealing with. Then explain it to me, I shouted. Stop treating me like a child and tell me what you're so afraid of. My mother spoke, her voice shaking. They're going to hurt you, Hanuel. Maybe not physically, but they'll use you. For business, for leverage, for whatever they need. And when they're done, they'll throw you away. You don't know that. We know men like them. We've dealt with their type for decades. They don't do anything without calculating the return on investment. Return on investment. Like I was a stock, a commodity. Get out, I said quietly. Hanuel, get out of my apartment, now. You're making a mistake, my father said. It's mine to make. They left. Reluctantly, angrily, but they left. I locked the door behind them, leaned against it. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. Adrenaline and anger and something else, something that felt dangerously close to liberation. My phone buzzed. The voice read aloud. Message from Kangdae Choi. Are you okay? We just got an alert. 2 people entered your apartment. I stared at the phone. They had alerts on my apartment. They knew who came and went. That should have terrified me. Should have proven my parents right. Instead, I felt. I'm not protected. I dictated. My parents. They're worried about me seeing you. Buzz. Message from Taejoon Choi. Understandable. We're worried about us seeing you too. Buzz. Message from Jiwon Choi. Want us to come back? Did I? My apartment felt empty now. Cold. Like their absence had taken all the warmth with it. I dictated. No, I'm fine. Just needed to be alone. Buzz. Message from Kangdae Choi. Liar. But we'll respect it. Call if you need us. Anytime. We mean that. Buzz. Message from Taejoon Choi. We're 10 minutes away, always. Buzz. Message from Jiwon Choi. Get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. I dictated. Why? What's tomorrow? Buzz. Message from Kangdae Choi. The day you meet our world, if you're ready. I wasn't ready. Wasn't close to ready. But I dictated. What time? Buzz. Message from Taejoon Choi. Noon. We're predictable like that. Buzz. Message from Jiwon Choi. Wear something comfortable. And Hanuel? I dictated. Yes? Buzz. Message from Jiwon Choi. Your parents are wrong. About us. About you. About everything. I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to believe him. I dictated. How do you know? Buzz. Message from Kangdae Choi. Because we see you. Really see you. And what we see is extraordinary. I sat down on my couch. Pulled Kangdae's jacket tighter around me. My phone buzzed one more time. Message from Taejoon Choi. Also, we're having a new cane delivered to your apartment. Top of the line. Carbon fiber, collapsible. Should arrive in an hour. You're welcome. Despite everything, my parents' warnings, my own fears, the insanity of the past 24 hours, I smiled. They were dangerous. My parents were right about that. But maybe I was tired of being safe. Maybe I wanted dangerous. An hour later, the cane arrived. The delivery man knocked, handed me a sleek case, and left. I opened it, ran my fingers over the carbon fiber shaft. It was lighter than my old cane. Perfectly balanced. The grip was custom molded, soft leather that fit my palm like it had been made specifically for me. Because it had been. Something was attached to the handle, a small card. Raised lettering I could feel with my fingertips. Not braille, just their initials. K, J, T, embossed. Permanent. Claiming. I stood, unfolded the cane, tested it. Perfect. Everything they did was perfect. Calculated. Designed to show me exactly how much they could give me. How much I'd lose if I walked away. My phone rang. Not a text this time. A call. Kangdae. I answered. Hi. Hi. His voice was warm. Intimate. Do you like it? The cane? Yes, it's perfect. Too perfect. There's no such thing as too perfect. Not for you. Kangdae. I know what you're thinking. That we're moving too fast. That we're overwhelming you. That your parents might be right. Are they? No. But you'll have to decide that for yourself. How? By trusting your instincts. What do they tell you, Hanuel? About us? About this? I closed my eyes. Focused on the feelings beneath the fear. Safe, protected, seen, wanted. They tell me I'm in over my head. You are, but we won't let you drown. A pause. Sleep well. Dream of us. He hung up. I stood there, cane in hand, jacket wrapped around me, their scents filling my apartment, and I realized something terrifying. I was already theirs. I just hadn't admitted it yet. The words echoed in my head as I set the new cane down. My fingers traced the embossed initials one more time. K, J, T, a claiming mark. Subtle, permanent. My phone buzzed again. I almost didn't want to check it, but I did. Message from Kangdae Choi. One more thing. Tomorrow isn't just lunch. We need your help with something. Something only you can do. My stomach tightened. I dictated. What kind of help? The response came immediately. Message from Jiwon Choi. Business meeting. Potential partner. Something feels off about him, but we can't pinpoint what. We need your senses. Your instincts. They wanted to use me. My parents' words crashed back. They'll use you for whatever they need. But this felt different. They were asking, not demanding. I dictated. Why me? Buzz. Message from Taejoon Choi. Because you read people better than anyone we've ever met. You hear the lies under the words. Smell the fear under the cologne. You see what we can't. My breath caught. They thought I could help them. Not despite my blindness, because of it. I dictated. What if I'm wrong? Buzz. Message from Kangdae Choi. Then you're wrong. We trust your instincts, Hanuel. The question is, do you? Did I? I'd spent my whole life being told my senses were compensation, crutches, ways to cope with what I lacked. No one had ever called them gifts before. I dictated. Okay, I'll try. Buzz. Message from Jiwon Choi. You'll do more than try. You'll be brilliant. See you at noon. The confidence in those words settled over me like a weight. They believed in me, completely, without question. When was the last time anyone had believed in me like that? I set the phone down. Tried to sleep. Couldn't. My mind raced. What if I failed? What if I read this person wrong and cost them something important? What if my parents were right, and this was all just a game? I must have dozed eventually, because the next thing I knew, my phone alarm was vibrating. Morning. I showered, dressed carefully. Black jeans, a soft gray sweater. Simple, professional. The new cane felt strange in my hand. Too light, too perfect, but it moved with me like an extension of my arm. They'd known exactly what I needed. 11:45. My phone buzzed. Message from Taejoon Choi. 15 minutes. Nervous? I dictated. Terrified. Buzz. Message from Taejoon Choi. Good. Means you care. We'll be right there with you. Noon. The knock came. I opened the door. Ready? Kangdae's voice. Warm. Steady. No, but let's go anyway. His hand found mine. Squeezed. That's my omega. My omega. The possessiveness should have rankled. Instead, It sent warmth flooding through me. We rode the elevator down. Their scents surrounded me: cedar, smoke, ice, grounding, safe. Tell me about this person, I said as we walked to the car. His name is Marcus Vance, Jiwon said, CEO of a tech startup. Vantage Systems. They've developed some kind of AI algorithm for predictive market analysis. Revolutionary, supposedly. And you're thinking of investing? We were, until the last meeting. Something felt wrong. What specifically? That's what we need you to tell us. Taejoon opened the car door. Help me inside. We drove. 10 minutes. 15. The sounds of the city shifted: less traffic, more construction. We were heading to the industrial district. Where are we meeting him? I asked. Our office, Kangdae said. Neutral ground. He thinks it's a standard negotiation meeting. Doesn't know you'll be there. Won't he wonder why? We'll introduce you as our consultant. Specializing in… He paused. Corporate integrity assessment. That's not a real thing. It is now. Despite my nerves, I smiled. The car stopped. We got out. The building smelled like concrete and glass cleaner and money. Lots of money. 23rd floor, Jiwon said as we entered the elevator. Conference room A. We've set up a seat for you at the table, next to Kangdae. You won't have to do anything except listen, observe, tell us what you sense. The elevator climbed. My heart climbed with it. The doors opened. Plush carpet under my feet. The scent of coffee and leather and expensive cologne, not theirs, someone else's. He's already here, Taejoon murmured. Early, eager. We walked down a hallway. A door opened. Gentlemen. A new voice. Male. Mid-40s maybe. Smooth. Too smooth. I wasn't expecting. Company. This is Hanuel's song, Kangdae said. His hand rested on my lower back. Our consultant. He'll be sitting in on today's discussion. A pause. I could feel Marcus Vance's attention shift to me. Assessing. Calculating. Of course. Welcome, Mr. Song. His voice was pleasant. Professional. But underneath? Wrong. Something was wrong. I couldn't place it yet. But it was there. We sat. I was between Kangdae and Taejoon. Jiwon sat across the table. Strategic positioning. Coffee? A woman's voice. Assistant, probably. Please, I said. Black. Papers rustled. Marcus cleared his throat. I've prepared an updated prospectus, he said. The numbers are even better than our last meeting. We're projecting 40% growth in the next quarter alone. He slid papers across the table. I heard Kangdae pick them up, but I wasn't paying attention to the papers. I was paying attention to Marcus. His voice remained smooth, confident, but his breathing was slightly too fast, and his scent, expensive cologne. Yes, but under it, sweat. Fresh sweat. Despite the cool conference room, he was nervous. No, not just nervous. Afraid. These projections are impressive, Jiwon said. His tone was neutral, giving nothing away. We've been very fortunate. Early adoption has exceeded expectations. Lie. Not about the adoption, about the fortune. There was something bitter in his tone, resentful. Tell me about your development team, Taejoon said. How many engineers are currently on staff? A pause. Too long. 15. Highly skilled, most with advanced degrees from top programs. Another lie. Or a partial truth. The numbers were right, but something about the team was wrong. I leaned slightly toward Kangdae. Whispered. Barely audible. Ask about turnover. He didn't question. Just spoke. And your retention rate? How many of those 15 engineers have been with you from the beginning? The air in the room shifted. Marcus's breathing hitched. Well, there's been some. Natural turnover. The tech industry is competitive. How many? Kangdae pressed. 5. 5 original team members remain. 5 out of 15. 2/3 gone. When did the others leave? I whispered to Kangdae. He asked. Over the past 6 months. 6 months. Right around the time this revolutionary algorithm was supposedly perfected. I leaned toward Kangdae again. The algorithm. Ask who owns the intellectual property rights. Kangdae's hand found mine under the table. Squeezed once. Trust. Mr. Vance, let's discuss IP ownership. The algorithm, who developed it? Who holds the rights? Silence. Heavy. Loaded. Then Marcus laughed. Too loud. Too bright. The company owns all IP, standard practice. All engineers sign agreements upon hiring. Including the ones who left? Of course. Lie. Complete lie. His voice went up at the end. His scent soured. And I could hear it, the faint tremor in his hands as he moved papers. He was terrified we'd find out the truth. I leaned close to Kangdae one more time. Whispered directly in his ear. He stole it. The algorithm. From one of the engineers who left. That's why they left. And that's why he's desperate for your money. He's about to be sued. Kangdae went very still beside me. Then he spoke, his voice dropping to something cold and lethal. Mr. Vance, I'm going to ask you a direct question, and I suggest you answer honestly. Of course. Anything. Is there any pending litigation against Vantage Systems? Any claims regarding intellectual property theft or breach of contract? The room froze. Marcus's chair creaked. His breathing stopped entirely for a moment. There was a minor dispute. Former employee, disgruntled, no merit to the claims. When were you planning to disclose this minor dispute? Jiwon's voice was ice. It's not relevant. The claims will be dismissed. Let me be clear. Kangdae's hand tightened on mine. We don't invest in companies with undisclosed litigation. We don't invest in stolen intellectual property. And we certainly don't invest in CEOs who lie to our faces. I didn't lie. Yes, you did. Kangdae stood. I felt the movement, felt the shift in power. This meeting is over. Our attorneys will be contacting you regarding the misrepresentations in your prospectus. I suggest you find very good legal counsel. Wait, please, the investment is dead, as is your company's reputation. We'll make sure of it. Kangdae's hand guided me up. We walked out together, all three of them surrounding me. The door closed behind us. We walked down the hall, into the elevator. As soon as the doors closed, Jiwon spoke. How did you know? His breathing, I said. His scent, the pauses. Everything about him screamed desperation and guilt. You just saved us from a multi-million-dollar disaster, Taejoon said quietly. I just listened, that's all. No. Kangdae turned me to face him. His hands cupped my face. You did what no forensic accountant, no background check, no due diligence team could do. You saw the truth. I didn't see anything. Yes, you did. His thumb brushed my cheek. And you were perfect. The elevator reached the ground floor. We walked to the car. I was shaking. Adrenaline, fear, relief. I'd done it. I'd actually helped them. Where are we going now? I asked as we pulled into traffic. Somewhere you can breathe, Kangdae said. Somewhere we can celebrate. Celebrate? You just became the most valuable member of our team, Hanuel. Taejoon's voice held a smile. Whether you know it or not. And as we drove through Chicago, their sense surrounding me, their pride in me palpable, I realized something. I wasn't just theirs anymore. They were becoming mine too. The thought terrified me, exhilarated me, made my chest tight with something I couldn't name. The car turned, slowed, stopped. We're here, Jiwon announced. Where's here? I asked. Home, Kangdae said simply. Ours. My breath caught. Your home? We want you to see it. Really see it the way you see everything else. The door opened. Cool air rushed in. Taejoon's hand found mine. Come on, no more corporate drama, just us. I let him guide me out. My new cane tapped against pavement, then smooth stone. Steps. 1, 2, 3. A door opened with a heavy, expensive sound. Warmth enveloped me immediately, and sensed their sense, but amplified. Concentrated. This was their territory. Their den. Penthouse, Jiwon said. Top floor. 42nd. 42nd, I repeated faintly. We like our privacy. The space felt massive. My footsteps echoed despite the carpet. High ceilings, open floor plan. Let me show you. Kangdae's hand rested on my lower back. We'll do this your way. Touch, scent, sound. He guided me forward. My fingers brushed against something smooth. Cold. Granite countertop, he explained. Kitchen. Industrial size. We all cook. All three of you? Taejoon bakes. Jiwon grills. I make everything else. Division of labor, Taejoon added, keeps us from killing each other. I smiled. My fingers traced the counter's edge. Found a stool. Saturday. Coffee? Jiwon asked. Please. Sounds of movement. Cabinet opening. The hiss of an espresso machine. The rich, dark scent of fresh grounds. Tell me what you're thinking, Kangdae said. He was close, right beside me. That this is moving very fast. Too fast? Maybe. I paused. Probably. But I don't want it to stop. Good. His hand covered mine on the counter. Because neither do we. The espresso machine finished. A cup was placed in front of me. I wrapped my hands around it, letting the warmth seep into my palms. You were incredible today, Taejoon said. In that meeting, the way you read him, I just listened. Stop. Jiwon's voice. Firm. Stop diminishing what you did. You saw through a con artist that fooled 3 of the best business minds in Chicago. Own it. I took a sip of coffee. Perfect. Strong and smooth, and exactly how I liked it. How did you know how I take my coffee? We pay attention, Kangdae said. To everything about you. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I ignored it. It buzzed again. And again. You should check that, Taejoon said quietly. I pulled it out. The accessibility voice read, 12 missed calls from Mom, 4 from Dad, 23 text messages. My stomach dropped. They know, I whispered. Know what? That I was at your office. That I'm with you now. They probably have someone watching. Let them watch. Jiwon's voice was cold. You're an adult, Hanuel. You don't need their permission. You don't understand, they'll... My phone rang. Mom's ringtone. I answered before I could stop myself. Hello? Where are you? Her voice was sharp. Panicked. Hanuel, answer me right now. Where are you? I'm safe, Mom. That's not what I asked. Are you with them? The Choi brothers? I hesitated. The silence was answer enough. Oh God. Her voice broke. Hanuel, please. Come home. Right now. We need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. There's everything to talk about. You've known them for 2 days. I'm happy, Mom. The words came out quiet. True. For the first time in years, I'm happy. Doesn't that matter? Not if it's built on lies and manipulation. It's not. You don't know that. You can't see what they're doing to you. The irony of those words coming from my mother, who'd spent 23 years telling me all the things I couldn't do because I couldn't see, cut deep. I'm not coming home right now, I said. I'll call you later. I hung up. My hands were shaking. Kangdae's fingers gently pried the phone from my grip. Set it on the counter. Breathe, he said softly. They think I'm making a mistake. Are you? I turned toward his voice. I don't know. Am I? Only you can answer that. His hands found my face. Warm. Steady. What do your instincts tell you, Hanuel? The same instincts that saw through Marcus Vance. What do they say about us? I closed my eyes. Focused. Their scent cedar and smoke and ice. Comforting. Safe. Their touch gentle but possessive. Protective but not controlling. Their words honest. Direct. No games. No manipulation. They tell me I'm safe with you, I whispered. That you mean what you say. That this is real. It is real. Taejoon's voice from my other side. More real than anything we've ever felt. How is that possible? It's been 2 days. Alpha instinct, Jiwon said. When we know, we know. And we knew the moment we saw you in that lobby. Before you even hid in our car. All 3 of you. At the same time? Yes. Kangdae's thumb brushed my cheek. We're bonded, Hanuel. The 3 of us. Have been since birth. We share everything, thoughts, feelings, needs. We've never found an omega who fit all 3 of us. Until you. My heart hammered. What are you saying? We're saying we want to bond with you. Taejoon's hand found mine. All 3 of us. If you'll have us. That's permanent. Forever. Yes. I barely know you. Then get to know us. Stay. Tonight. Tomorrow. As long as you need. We're not asking you to decide now. We're just asking you to stay. Stay. In their space. Their den. Their home. Every instinct my parents had drilled into me screamed danger. But every instinct I developed on my own, the ones that had just saved them millions, screamed safety. Okay, I heard myself say. I'll stay. Tonight. The relief that rolled off all 3 of them was palpable. Overwhelming. Thank you, Kangdae whispered against my temple. Thank you for trusting us. I don't have clothes. Or We'll get you whatever you need, for now. He stood, pulling me with him. Let me show you the rest. He guided me through the penthouse. Each room had its own scent, its own feeling. Library, he said, letting me run my fingers over leather-bound spines. Mostly business texts, but Taejoon has a collection of poetry, Korean and English. Living room, plush furniture. A piano in the corner. I could smell the wood polish, feel the instrument's presence. You play? I asked. Jiwon does, when he can't sleep. We climbed stairs. My hand on Kangdae's arm. Bedrooms are up here, he said quietly. 4 of them. 3 are ours. The 4th. He stopped at a door, opened it. Is yours, if you want it. I stepped inside. The air was different, fresher, cleaner, like no one had been in here. My fingers found a bed. Soft comforter, too many pillows. We prepared it, Taejoon said from the doorway. This morning, just in case. In case what? In case you said yes. They'd been that confident, or that hopeful. The bathroom's through here, Jiwon's voice. We stocked it with everything. Towels, toiletries. There's a shower and a tub. Both have grab bars. Safety first. Safety. They'd thought of everything. Why? The question escaped before I could stop it. Why do all this for me? Because you're ours, Kangdae said simply. Or you will be. And we take care of what's ours. I'm not a possession. No. You're something much more valuable. His hand cupped my cheek. You're our mate, even if you don't fully understand that yet. Mate. The word hung between us. I need time, I said. To think. To process. Take all the time you need. We'll be downstairs when you're ready. They left. The door closed softly. I sat on the bed, ran my hands over the comforter. Everything was perfect, too perfect. But perfect had never been my life. Chaos had. Struggle had. Loneliness had. Maybe I was tired of imperfect. My phone buzzed. Still in my pocket. I pulled it out. Message from Mom. Please come home. We're worried. We love you. I dictated a response. I love you too, but I'm staying here tonight. I'm safe. I promise. I sent it before I could second guess. Then I stood. Made my way back downstairs using my cane, memorizing the space. 15 steps. Turn left. 10 more steps. I found them in the kitchen. All 3 of them. Their conversation stopped when I entered. Changed your mind already? Jiwon asked. No judgment, just curiosity. No, I took a breath. I don't want to be alone right now. Then you won't be. Kangdae pulled out a stool. Sit, we're making dinner. You can help, or just keep us company. I chose company. Watched them through scent and sound, and the warmth of their presence worked together with practiced ease. This was their life, their routine, their home, and they were offering to make it mine. The question wasn't whether I wanted it. The question was whether I was brave enough to take it. I sat on that stool, listening to them move around the kitchen, the sizzle of something in a pan, the clink of knives on cutting boards, the low murmur of their voices discussing ingredients and timing. Normal, domestic, everything I'd been denied my entire life because my parents thought I was too fragile for it. Hanuel, Taejoon's voice came from my right. Taste this. Something was pressed to my lips. A spoon. Warm. I opened my mouth. Rich tomato, garlic, basil, perfect. Good? Amazing. It's just pasta sauce. It's better than anything I've made. Then we'll teach you. His hand squeezed my shoulder. If you stay long enough. If, not when. They were giving me room to choose. To run. But I didn't want to run. How long have you 3 lived together? I asked. Always, Jiwon answered from across the kitchen. We've never been apart. Not even for a night. Never? Triplet alphas don't separate well, Kangdae explained. We're bonded. When one of us hurts, we all hurt. When one of us is happy, we all feel it. That sounds intense. It is. But it also means we understand each other completely. No secrets, no lies, just us. And you want to add me to that? Yes. No hesitation. We want you right here, in the center of everything we are. My hands trembled. I gripped the edge of the counter. What if I'm not enough? What if I can't? You are enough. Kangdae's hands covered mine. Exactly as you are. Blind, sensitive, scared, all of it. We don't want you to change. We want you to be you. Tears pricked my useless eyes. No one had ever said that to me. Not my parents. Not anyone. I don't know how to do this, I whispered. Neither do we. Taejoon moved closer. We've never bonded with an Omega before. We're figuring it out together. What if my parents are right? What if this is too fast, too dangerous? Then we'll be dangerous together. Jiwon's voice. Firm. Absolute. Your parents spent 23 years keeping you safe. But safety isn't living, Hanuel. It's just existing. He was right. I'd been existing, surviving, never truly living. Dinner's ready, Kangdae announced. Come on, let's eat. They guided me to a table, set a plate in front of me. The scents were overwhelming: pasta, garlic bread, wine. Fork at 3 o'clock, Jiwon said quietly. Bread plate at 10, wine glass at 2. They ate with me, around me. Their presence was constant, comforting. Tell us about your work, Taejoon said. The translations. What do you love about it? I swallowed a bite of pasta. The precision. Languages are like puzzles. Finding the right word, the exact meaning, it's satisfying. You like solving puzzles. I like making sense of chaos. Then you'll fit right in, Jiwon said dryly. We're chaos personified. I smiled. Actually, smiled. When was the last time dinner had felt this easy? What about you? I asked. What do you love about what you do? Building things, Kangdae said. Taking something broken and making it whole again. Buildings, companies, people. People, you. His hand found mine on the table. We want to build something with you, Hanuel. Not fix you. You're not broken, but build a life. Together. My throat tightened. That's a big ask. It is. But we're not asking for an answer tonight. We're just asking you to stay, to sleep here, to wake up tomorrow and see if you still want to be here. And if I don't, then we drive you home. No questions, no pressure. His thumb stroked my knuckles. But we hope you do. We finished eating. They cleaned up around me, their movements synchronized, practiced. Come here, Taejoon's voice. I want to show you something. He led me to the living room, pressed something into my hands. A book, thick, heavy, leather-bound. My fingers found raised dots. Braille. Poetry, he said softly. Korean poets. Translated to English Braille. I thought you might like it. I ran my fingers over the cover. The spine. This wasn't something they'd bought today. This was old, worn, loved. This is yours, I said. It was. Now it's ours. Ours. Like everything was becoming ours. Read to me? I asked. I want to hear your voice. He settled beside me on the couch, opened the book. His voice was soft, melodic as he read Korean poetry in English. Kangdae sat on my other side, Jiwon across from us. Their presence surrounded me. Safe, warm, right. And I realized something. I wasn't afraid anymore. Hanuel. Kangdae's voice, low and serious. We need to tell you something. My stomach tightened. What? Park Seungri. The alpha from the garage. He's gone. Gone where? Seoul. On a plane. With a very clear understanding that if he ever comes near you again, he won't make it back to the airport. You threatened him. We promised him. Jiwon's voice was cold. There's a difference. You didn't have to. Yes, we did. Kangdae turned me to face him. No one touches you. No one threatens you. No one makes you afraid. Ever. That's not negotiable. The possessiveness should have scared me. Should have sent me running. Instead, I leaned into it. Into him. Thank you, I whispered. Don't thank us for protecting what's ours. What's ours? Those words again. I'm not yours yet, I said. Testing. Pushing. Aren't you? His hand cupped my face. Your scent is all over our apartment. You're wearing my jacket. You're sitting on our couch, reading our books, eating our food. You slept better last night than you have in months because you were thinking of us. He was right. All of it. That doesn't mean, it means everything. His forehead pressed against mine. You know it does. Stop fighting it, Hanuel. Stop fighting us. I'm scared. So are we. But we're doing it anyway. His breath was warm against my lips. Be scared with us. Be brave with us. Just be with us. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Stay tonight, Taejoon said softly. Wake up here tomorrow. See how it feels. And then? And then we ask you to stay another night. And another. Until staying feels like home. Home. The words settled into my chest. Warm and terrifying. Okay, I whispered. I'll stay. The relief that washed over them was tangible. Physical. Kangdae kissed my forehead. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. I might run screaming in the morning. Then we'll chase you. Jiwon's voice held a smile. Fair warning. They showed me back to my room. The one they'd prepared. My room. We're right down the hall, Kangdae said. All 3 doors. If you need anything, I know. He kissed my temple, then left. Taejoon squeezed my hand. Sleep well. Jiwon's hand brushed my shoulder. See you in the morning. They left. The door closed. I stood alone in the room that was supposedly mine. Ran my hands over the furniture, the walls, the space they'd created for me. This could be my life. This home, these alphas. This feeling of being wanted, cherished, protected. All I had to do was say yes. I changed into clothes they'd left folded on the bed, soft cotton, smelling like cedar and smoke and ice. I climbed under the covers, and for the first time in 23 years, I felt like I was exactly where I belonged. My phone buzzed one last time. Message from Kangdae Choi. Good night, Hanuel. Dream of us. Tomorrow, we start building our forever. I set the phone down, closed my eyes, and dreamed of 3 alphas who saw me, really saw me, even though I couldn't see them. When morning came, I was still there, still choosing them, still choosing myself. And that's when I knew this wasn't a mistake. This was the beginning of everything I'd been too afraid to want. Good morning. Kangdae's voice drifted through my door. Coffee's ready. So are we. I smiled, got up, opened the door. Good morning, I said, and meant it. For the first time in my life, morning felt like a promise instead of a burden. They were waiting, and so was I. Ready for whatever came next. Together, the end. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for more. It was good having you here.